Not sure I have copied here or not. Copy. So, so where we saw the export for here. Not sure, it's not working out. Actually, we can download like HTML file. Once we prepare the templates using our tools, you'll be having the option to download those. Templates are not saying. I can give you a good example after getting it. I'm just taking the same example over here, but actually it should be in a HTML format. Hmm. So once you're done with your styling and all, you can already have this links or images, any URLs, whatever you want to use as formatting and do like how you have a Word thing. You can have everything done over there. And you can copy this HTML file. You can just use those HTML files here. And all you have to do is you need to take care of your merge fields. So previously we have some project fields here. The project, and we'll see the project lead name, and instead of name whatever we have here, and use that name. You have any link to do here? Okay, I'm just doing a preview. Something product service name as well. Product and service name. Okay. Okay, I'm just doing the next here and copy text from HTML version. Okay. So let's check sending the verify message. So this is the mail. Without having any kind of branding, or you can take care of the branding in your HTML template. You can do here. This also you can add a link in that template so that you will not get just odd. So the thing was the basic difference between a with letter header and without header is where you can use kind of a template kind of a format and you can do, and this one it's completely pure HTML, and you can find the tools that will help you to prepare a HTML templates like you see here, right? So there is a easy way of drag and drop. and you can just convert that code into a HTML1. I just was not good with this, so you can have can spend some time here and you can design a good templates. Then you can convert to HTML. Once you see the HTML, all you need to do was you need to work on replacing your merge fields. That's all you have to do, and then there'll be really good templates that you can build here using the HTML email templates. So once you have done with the email templates, all you have to do was like using your workflows or process builder. Yes, you have to create an email alert using this template, and then you can send those email templates out. Any questions here? So Visualforce templates, that is only when we have a development, then only we can understand. So how to make a Visualforce page as a template. Here, just I'm giving a quick introduction about a process builder. Rules we can see. So it has an entry criteria, and when it has a record evaluation criteria and entry criteria. There where you have a evaluation criteria as 3, whether it's record is created or record edited and subsequently made the criteria. There also the entry criteria for process builder will also like similar. When you have a record is created, you want to do it or created and every time edited to um, and the evaluation criteria will be same, and you don't have a third option here, but we can leverage the third option even in your different conditions. And in workflow, what you'll have, you have a rule criteria. So in this rule criteria, what you have, you will be writing either formula or you will give us some fields with some what are all the things it has to meet, and then you will give a specified actions. Wherein process builders, you will be doing it same. You will be having a formula or conditions to be met, but you can have multiple conditions. That means if the condition 1 is met, what should be the action, and the next you want to do some other action that you can control in your process. Let's say if you have a workflow and on the same object you have a multiple workflows. So what you have to do, so let's say if you have a multiple actions with the criteria, so you have to create a multiple workflows. When you have a multiple workflows, you don't know the order, in which order it will execute. When you're having a multiple workflows on the same object, where in process builder, we can club all those workflows into a single process builder, and we can control the order after which logic you want to perform the next logic. And you will be having a full control over there in which order it has to execute, and you can avoid a multiple places of your code, and you have a visualization of the whole process, what will happen in your object automations. And apart from that, the actions that you can perform in the workflow are only 4. Like what are the 4? Email, sending an email alert, creating a task, and updating the record and outbound message. In a process builder, we have a much more actions. So we can create a records, update the records, even not only the same record, even like what are the records that are childs or parent to it, either from master lookup, sorry, master data relationship or lookup relations, all will be available to update using a process builder. And some other options as well. So let's create some process builder and take a look. How you have to navigate was, once you are in setup, then you have to search for process builder. This is a process builder. It will again take you to a similar kind of a Lightning app builder thing, but it is not exactly same, but it is similar. So I want to do it on a resources. So do we have which object will have both parent and child? I think we're having only one level, right? Project and project resource. Okay, I have master with the contact, master with the project, and lookup with the contact. Okay, okay, fine. I want to give this other resources. Just I'm giving a generic name, automations. So when we can fire a process builder, there are three ways of firing it. One is like when you have a, like similar to how you have a workflow. Whenever there is some record changes, then you want to fire the process builder. That is one way. That's the first one. When a record changes. Second one is a platform event message is received. So we have a feature called a platform events. This is not only from Salesforce, from outside of Salesforce also through API. You can fire the platform events, and it is not specific to specific object. So it's organizational wide. That means it's not specific to one object in your organization. It could be you can fire this event from anywhere. It could be from your code, or it could be from outside of Salesforce. It could be any custom page not related to any object. You can use this platform events across the org and outside of the org as well. When this event is fired, also you can start a process builder, and then it is invoked by other process. And you have some set of logic that has to be called from other process builder. So first we'll focus on the record changes. That means it it has to be selected from one object, and in object any record changes, then the process builder will trigger. So here first we have to select an object. So object is a resource, project resource owner, resource object. So we have two options, only when record is created, when record is created or edited. So I want to do it only when it's created. So here it's asking like we have kind of a re-evaluate the workflow rule, right? It's also a similar thing. If you want to re-evaluate the things, you have to check this box, and you don't think it's needed, then you can uncheck this box. I hope it's so far clear. And once you select the object, you have a criteria here, and what are all the immediate action you can see here. What are all the time-based actions? You can add it here. So this time-based actions will be enabled based on your criteria that you gave here. So in workflows, when the time-based workflow will be available, only when you choose the third option. when you edited or created, when it subsequently meet the criteria, whatever the criteria that you have, if you're firing only when that criteria is met, then only the time-based workflow will be enabled. Here also we have a similar logic. So here in the entry criteria, we don't have such thing, like only fire when specific changes are happened. So it will be in the criteria side. So in the criteria, you can give the condition, what is your criteria name, and you will give a like what are all the fields that you want to have it here. And then here you see that whether you want to meet the conditions are met or formula values to true, and you can have a no criteria also, but this option is not available in a workflow. Now, once you have all this logic, let's say project resource, what are the fields that we have in the project, discount is valid resource. Mm, okay, we have status. When the status value is active, all condition has to be met. My criteria name is active resources. So when you have given this criteria, if you have seen, so you have available to set schedule and add action, and you see there's enable for the next criteria as well. Here you have a one more button called, so you can add actions here. You go to the back. So here you have a stop. So usually once it is true, that is the project resource status is active, it will come here. And if it is a false, it will go to the next criteria. If you add a criteria here, can you hear me? So if you add a criteria here, then it will evaluate the next criteria. But even after executing these actions also, you want to go to the next criteria, you can change the stop to, okay, first I have to specify the below condition when a stage or status, when the status is inactive or status is null equal to true. That means if it is not selected also, I want to treat it as inactive, and if it is inactive, if any of these conditions are met. So what I have to change here, instead of all conditions, I want to give or conditions. And if you want to use algorithm, like when you have a multiple conditions, you want to use like 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, you can write this kind of logics as well, but I have only 2, so I'm going to just use a OR logic. But you have the option to do this logic as well, and we can do all the remaining options also, and then do a save. Oh, I have to give the name. An active resource. Okay, I'm just doing the save. So once the active resource is done, usually It's not possible once it is an active resource. It cannot be an inactive resource. But you have some other logics in below that need to be performed. So the logic will be, let's say, I'm just thinking what we can keep. Um, Created date is related date, discount is valid. Fee rating. I have an idea like what else we can do automations here.
Can we use subscription?
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Let's say the subscription is diamond. Subscription is platinum. If any of this two, I want to give some discount. This two. Um, Subscription. Well, diamond or platinum subscription. I'm just saving here. If I have any of this subscription, I want to provide some discount. So yeah, before going to that, so I have a three criteria to fulfill. When the resource is active, I want to do one thing. When resource is inactive, I want to do something. And when the resource with the diamond and platinum subscription, also I want to execute. So if I leave as it is, what will happen? Whenever the resource have some changes, and if it is active and it's having a subscription as a diamond, then I have to perform this action and I have to perform this third criteria actions also. So it is valid, so it will execute this one. So it will not go to the bottom. So what I can do was I can select the evaluate to the next criteria. So what will happen was first it will perform these actions and then it will evaluate the next criteria. So if it is done or not, again this from this also let's say then um, because it is active, it will not go to this condition. It's not go to inactive condition, so it will go to a false and it will execute here. That's fine. Let's say some inactive user is came in that case it will be directly going to this false. And once the user is inactive and you do some actions over here and you are missing this part, so you cannot run this one. So what you have to do here also, you have to select the evaluate next criteria, so that in this case what will happen was it will execute all your logic here. So this is you can select either stop or evaluate next criteria based on your business logic. You can do these things. Now coming to the actions. When the resource is active, I want to just send an email alert. So just first we will just give a quick overview about this, what all the actions we have. We can call Apex. So in development, we can write some custom code or custom logic in Apex classes. So if you think that you cannot achieve anything using your point and click and you want to execute some piece of code and still you want to control it through a point and click through a process builder. So you can expose that code to the process builder, and you can call those custom code from the process builder. That is the calling apex and creating a record. So you can create any record using a process builder and email alert. So similar to how we see in the workflow, you have to create an email alerts and you can select the email alert. And a flows is the next topic that we're going to show you. So we can launch the flows that I will show you how to do it. A flow, post to a chatter. So we have a standard communication that is used in a Salesforce is a chatter post. So usually when you use a chatter, we have to manually post that your messages. Like if you want to just want to put to the team as other user any message that you're having, that you can just do a post here, so that when you mention someone, it will be notified in their bell icons. Similarly, you can do any chatter post using the process builder. Then a processes. This process is launching the other flow. So we have an entry criteria initially, right? How to launch a process builder. That is either doing a record changes or through the platform events. Third is a initiated by another flow. So if you want to launch other flow, so you can pick this flow here. Sorry, not flow. You can pick the other process builder that you have it here, which are enabled for the entry would be initiated by other flow. Then only you can see the list of process builders in that list. And the quick actions. If you remember, while we are discussing about a Lightning app builder, we can create a quick actions for any of the record. That is, so let's say if you want to update some parts of the information or hmm, so created some this one buttons, links, and actions. Here you can create a new action. What all you have a custom actions here for this object called a resource. You can add this all quick actions over here. QUIP quip also a similar kind of faster comments that we have seen in the Lightning app builder. Once we configure that, also we can do with the process builder. And send custom notification. This is also similar to a chatter post. In chatter post, what it will do a post to the chatter. But here, when you say custom notification message, without doing any post, you can directly show the message in your notification notification bell, where you can see your custom messages you can post here. And then we have a submit for approval. This is also not covered yet. And update record. This is also similar to what we did in workflow, but here you can update any records that are related to this record, either parent or child or same record. You can do this. Just give an overview. Tomorrow we will continue with how we can do some examples, adding actions and doing it. Any questions you can ask now?